Hey folks, welcome back to another Global Hack Week live stream, and this time it's social good. I can see a lot of highs already in the chat. I welcome you all to this amazing, superb live stream. We will be working on creating GitHub READMEs, and I know a lot of you folks have already might be knowing about what GitHub READMEs are, how we can make them. But today we are gonna work around how we can actually make the best use of our GitHub READMEs. Right? You participate in a lot of hackathons, you submit projects, you post your code on GitHub, and you want a lot of folks to see it. But what GitHub readmes which are present on GitHub actually do, it actually helps folks understand what you have initially made, because it's like a first representation of your project. Like a lot of times we usually say first impression is the last impression. This is the reason, because like for example, I have made a project, a super project based on AI, and I just want a lot of folks to know about it. But when you talk about any senior developer, he'll just enter, and the first thing he's going to notice is your GitHub readme or any other individual, because he want to know what your project actually do. So I need to mention that my AI project actually helps people determining like their daily routine of what they eat through motion censoring or CV, whatever I use. I just use an example. Don't try to relate it in real life. But yep, you make tons of project during hackathons. You submit it. You take part in digital hackathons, and you want your GitHub README to be as smooth as it can be, because you want to get best at what you make. So this session will be all about making GitHub READMEs. To start with, I just want to like make a big hi to all the folks. I can see Faizan. Hey Faizan. Then we have Yash, Shubhankar joining in. Then we also have Nishu. We also have Arman joining in. I can see a lot of faces above. We also had Vishal joining in. Hey Vishal, thanks for hopping in. Then we have Insha also to hop in. Hello. Then we also have Zainil to hop in. But today we are gonna just move in. We also have Sanchit. Hey Sanchit, welcome to the stream. We are gonna move to our GitHub README session. For all the folks who are in like watching this stream from India, I wish you a very happy Holi. And today's also we also celebrate another festival this time. But yep, I did celebrate Holi yesterday with my family. I was not able to go home, but I hope you had a wonderful time with your family too. Till the time I can see, okay, I guess we will have a LinkedIn session soon, but I need to think that is any other coach is taking it or not. But let me know about you folks. How did you celebrate your Holi? How things have been like till now? Was Holi good? Did you enjoy sweets? Oh, I can see a zero. Why? But I really want to know that how Holi went for you folks. I know Global Hack Week is going on. Tons of amazing sessions are happening all around the week, and this is just the starting, right? We are only into the third day of Global Hack Week, and are still lot to explore in this social week. Good, and GitHub README is just a part of that. So I just want to know how Holi. Okay, it was great. Yep, Gujia is love. So, like, this is one of my favorite things I usually have whenever I am at a home. So this time, my sister was very sweet enough to make it for me. She cooks some awesome food, so I was able to have them. Okay, someone coded during this holy session, so yep, it was a good one. Okay, I hope it was great for you too. Then we also have Shubhankar saying, "Yep, it was great. Always try to enjoy your families, enjoy your vacations or any cultural festival with your family. It's always a good sense because you get a good break from your daily life. And I hope this stream will be able to add up more to that small vacation which you're having at your home. So without wasting any time, just give me a minute. I just want to share my screen. Okay, let me share on a slideshow. Okay. Hey Akshat, welcome to the stream. Okay, to start with, what are we going to do today? So we are going to work around how we are going to make an effective GitHub README. To start with, I just want to know like how do you folks see? So, but before we start, I just want to give a quick introduction about myself. I am a coach at I guess that's a type issue. I'm a coach at Major League Hacking. I'm also an organizer at Open Hacks, and you can catch me tweet some random stuff at IG_ROX on Twitter. So that will be a short introduction about myself. Okay, you have an exam tomorrow. Tomorrow is, yep, it's a Friday. A lot of folks are having exams. If you are in 12th, then I wish you all the best for your board exams happening. I guess it's already over for class 10 as of my knowledge, but I need to know. So to start with, I have said this word a lot number of times, but I'm going to say it again. We have talked about the term GitHub READMEs. But to start before, what is GitHub? So GitHub basically is a platform which like an open source platform which actually helps you to host your code. Uh, for example, let's try to example if this is for the folks who do not know about GitHub or they have never worked with GitHub. Code hosting is very simple. You and your folks are, for example, are participating in a hackathon, and you all folks want a singular place so that your code can be hosted. So GitHub helps you there. It gives you a platform to host your code so that you can actually work from your homes and work effectively on your project. When we talk about version control is all about you can see from this example. For example, you are using a product, right? So that product always have version 1.0, 2.0, 3.0. So what happens is, for example, you have worked in version for 1.0, and now you want to continue on that project which you have started, and the version now has like come up to 3.2. You can say two versions have been upgraded. So what GitHub helps you, it helps you with the version control. It keeps like whatever you have made in that particular version as it is, so that you can actually coordinate well with the new version too. And the last and the most important thing is collaboration. As I've stated in the first point itself, when you're working on code hosting, you're actually working with folks all around the world. GitHub gives you a perfect platform to actually collaborate, so that you're not restricted by location, or you can just contribute from everywhere. You can collaborate with all certain folks who are available. You can say I'm work coding from India, and I can also have a friend which is coding from United States of America. So yep, I'll also let you know this how can we pull the new version to our local build. I'll let you know in this stream as we move ahead. I just want to make some things clear before we actually move to GitHub. So, but to answer your question, okay, I can't. I see it. It depends upon you. It depends upon folks to folks, like user to user. If I talk about me, I'm a person who is using GitHub from a long period of time. That is from my first year when I first got to know about GitHub, and after that, I have never moved to any other platform. It's more like that. So it depends upon you. Replit is also a very good platform if you want to just go and work around it. Replit is also a very good platform. Yep, it again, as Chintan said, it depends upon user to user. If you're someone who is working with GitHub from a long period of time, you might want to continue with it. GitHub also comes with, this is just the simple features which GitHub, like the prime features which GitHub offers, right? Code hosting, then your version control, then you have collaboration. But you also have tons of features are available on GitHub. You can deploy your pages on GitHub. A lot of things can happen on GitHub. So GitHub is working in a good direction, and I hope Replit does also. To move ahead, we will move to the next part of GitHub README, that is what is a README. So let's try to like understand with an example. So if I read out a proper definition, it's a text file that provides an overview and explanation of a project or a person. It can contain information normally required to understand the goal of the project or about a person. So here understand, README is basically of two types, right? It can be of a profile README and a project README. So when we talk about a profile README, it's actually, you can say, a resume of yourself. So I will be 100% sure all the folks who are available on the stream might have built a resume for themselves, right? You can just let me know in the chat. Yep, GitHub also provides student developer and other benefits. So if you have ever made a resume for yourself, just let me know that if you have made a resume for yourself. See, I guess Easter is saying yes, he has made a resume, and yep, as Insha said, she has also made a resume. I'm so sorry. Yep, she has also made a resume. Yep, it's a text file. Akshat, you'll get to know more as we move ahead. Yep, a lot of folks have made resumes. So what when we talk about profile readme is it's actually a GitHub resume, right? So for example, you want to apply for a software developer job, right? So you you will find a question stating in your application form, please submit your GitHub profile link. And do you know why they ask these questions? Because they actually want to see what are the projects you are currently contributing to, what are the projects you have already made, so that they will be able to judge you, not judge you, but able to observe you that whether you are comfortable working in their company or not. So for example, it helps a company identify whether you are good in collaboration, have you worked with other folks, have you worked with open source, and a lot of other things. So if I talk about a profile readme, I don't know if this can be a perfect 100% of a good profile readme can be, but this is myself for what I made back in, you can say, 3 to 4 months back, which I made for myself. That is very simple. It clearly tells about me. I'm Vinayak Rawat. I'm currently building Open Core community. I'm a coach at Major League Hacking. And if you can clearly see that it says that, hey, I'm Vinayak. You can follow me on Twitter, as I've said earlier. And then it tells about you. So, like, I'm currently working on my course. I'm currently learning JavaScript. I'm looking to collaborate in open source and all the certain things. And you can list down all the important things which you need, the next person should know in order to apply for this role. So, for example, I'm applying for a developer evangelist role, right? So they want me to write blogs. So, for example, they ask that, Vinay, can we have your GitHub like GitHub profile link, please? So what you can do here is you can just share your this page, and they will be able to see, okay, Vinayak has written a blog on starting your journey learning Azure Node.js, blockchain and its applications, what are GitHub actions, and how to use it. So they will be able to observe how this particular individual writes. But if you do not provide your GitHub, for example, you said that you do not have a GitHub README, right? So you will give them links of the blogs, and the data will be unorganized. So what profile README does is it makes your data organized at a single place for all the data which you want to show to someone or any other individual who want to come up at your GitHub profile. So this is all, and you can add certain more things in your GitHub profile, which actually makes it look good. So this GitHub profile, README profile, just gives a very simple explanation of what Vinayak is, what he does. He's currently a coach at MLH, Major League Hacking, and how you can reach him. As simple as that. So this is how. And I want to ask this question to all the folks who are available in the stream. What is the special README name which we usually create at GitHub? This is a question to all the folks who are in the stream. We have a very special name at GitHub. So when you create, GitHub actually tells you that it's a special repository. Anyone in the chat can let me know. Sorry for that noise. I guess, yep, Vaishnavi and Chintan is already right. Whenever we create a repository, so if I tell about your repository is all about the place where you want to code your host. Yep, repo name as a username, repository name as a username. Yep, the name same as the username, because it GitHub tells that this is a very special repository, and this will help you to create your project, like your profile on GitHub. I really want to show you one more thing. Just a second. Just a second, folks. If I can just open that. So, so if I even also tell you about what a repository is, it's more like it contains all your project files, each version, like each file revision history. For example, you have uploaded files on your GitHub repository, and it keeps a track of all the things which you have done over the time. Yep. Username config file for your GitHub profile. You can also say that, yep, but the perfect answer is the special repository of your GitHub is your username. So my repository name for this particular thing is, I can clearly say, okay, it's written here too. Just a second. That is Vinayak27 raw. That is my username slash readme.md, because it helps me create a like a profile readme for myself. So this was all about profile readmes. We will be also getting back to this. I just want to know all the folks who have already made a profile readme, so that I'll be able to think what exercise we can do at the end of, like, when we will be concluding our session. Like if you have made a profile readme for yourself, you can either drop the link in the chat so that I will be able to open it and judge it. Not judge it, but observe it, that what are the things you have made better than me. Otherwise, let's move back to what we were doing. I guess stream is okay. Shubhankar has not made yet. I guess I've seen it for Himanshu. What Himanshu shared was in the stream. So, getting back to what is README, we have talked about profile README. Now we are going to talk about project READMEs. Project READMEs is again basically a simple text file which provides perfect explanation of your project, what exactly is. So when I talk about project readmes, right? So for example, I have made a Python project which helps me extract data from the Excel sheets, right? I can see a lot of folks popping in their GitHub. Yep, you can just tell so that I will be able to show it to other folks too when we'll be moving ahead. So when I talk about project readmes is all about, you can say, when you talk about giving a clarification of what your project actually does. So for example, I have a Python project which actually takes up data from the Excel sheet and shows a prediction, right? So my GitHub README will be talking about how, what is my project, what it actually does, what is the version it should have. So these are the things it should contain in my project README. So this was all about READMEs. Okay, so why you need to make a GitHub README? I guess by the explanation of all the discussions we have done till now, it we can easily says that a GitHub README actually serves as the face of your project. More like it's a concise form of your documentation, a simple structure of whatever you have made, in a way that even the person who is not someone who is familiar with the technical jargon should be able to understand it, right? And this brings to me a very important point that a lot of folks who do not like, who might not be that good with technical jargons, readmes are very important for them too. So for example, you are pitching to your, you can say, higher authorities in your organization, and they might not be that good with the technical documentation, right? So whenever they open your GitHub readmes, it should be so clear, concise, and all the steps should be so clear that when they run those commands in the system or when they try to understand it, it's very simple. So that is why you need to make a project readme. So whether you're working for your project or you're working for an organization, or you can be working in a hackathon, always don't forget to make a readme, because it makes the second person analyze your project better, and it creates a good image of your overall project. And it also is responsible because it helps that what are the contributions. So a very good thing which I think about GitHub readmes is, for example, when we usually earlier when we were used to work on our projects, like we used to have a team of four, right? So what we were used to do is we used to divide work and then do. So when we talk about it actually keeps an workflow of what someone has done. So it can happen that I have contributed to a better way in such a way to another person, so that the project can be enhanced better. What GitHub will do is it will let all the folks know, okay, this change was suggested by Vinayak. Although it can happen that in the meeting someone might have told that, okay, you need to do this work, but what GitHub will tell you, okay, this change was recommended by Vinayak, do you want to make it like in the project or not? So this is, I guess, a very good thing for uh, readmes. Okay, to move ahead, where I can find one, so I'll just lead you to a link. Okay, just give me a second, folks. Okay, so we have talked about a lot about GitHub READMEs. Now it's the time to see a perfect example of how GitHub READMEs should actually be written. Why do we call it a text file, and how things are very easy for it. To start with, we are actually working on AppWrite GitHub README. It has already 2.5 star folks. Then you can see forking of more than 2.5k hackers. Then we have stars and currently watch. Then when we talk about AppWrite GitHub README, you can clearly see it has started with, it's going to get cloudy, basically giving a simple introduction of what they usually do with a sign up link. Then they have an AppWrite logo, and they have clearly said that they're a complete backend solution for your Flutter, Vue, Angular, and any other application which you use. So it helps the user understand in the first go that, okay, AppWrite is going to help working on my backend solution with anything I work with, whether it is Flutter, Vue, Angular, React, and iOS, and any other thing. So same goes with your project. So for example, you have made a software which actually helps individual work on front end better. So you need to make sure you say that a complete front end solution for your project with whatever languages you use, so that it can be clear in the uh, thinking of an other users that okay, this project actually helps me build my front end do better. So that will be all. So moving ahead, it can clearly see that they were participating in Hacktoberfest, then they have a Discord, and this is their Twitter link. Moreover, if you want to connect with AppRite on their socials, these are the certain link. Okay, so moving ahead, I will also share the link for AppRite GitHub in the chat. Just a second. Okay, so if I move ahead, this is that they were product on day one. To move ahead, the most important thing, table of contents. I guess all of you might have visited Wikipedia once in your life, anytime. Like I might have visited Wikipedia multiple times because I also run mini events with the name Wikipedia Races. But I definitely know all the folks who are in the stream might have definitely visited Wikipedia Races, Wikipedia Wikipedia page. So when we talk about Wikipedia page, it always start with a small introduction about the idea, and then table of contents. Table of contents is required because when you create a big GitHub README, it's very important to understand what are the things are listed where. So when I actually open this repository, it's very clear to understand that okay, here is the installation, here's the Unix. Okay, I need to go if I want to install app right in my Windows, I need to click here. So when I click here, it will already lead me. Okay, here in Windows, in the command you need to in the command line or in the PowerShell you need to run these ports so that AppRite can be installed in your system. And when I talk about same thing can go, uh, for example, you click on Unix. So for running or installing AppRite on Unix systems, you need to run this in your command system. As simple as that. Why it was important? Because the initial step of any project so that it should be installation in the user system. So that is what Upright has done. Started with installation. That is the table of contents. Then we have when we talk about getting started, so what services are offered by Upright in a Go. Okay, so a very important thing which I guess I also mentioned, uh, blogs are written, right? So whenever it can happen that you might be going to participate in an hackathon. So what you can do is, for example, you get a thinking that we are going to make project around this. So you should also have all the certain blog links or the YouTube links you should have. All the links should be mentioned in your GitHub README. The reason is because it helps the users, any other user, or just navigate better if they want to understand your project better. So you can clearly see here, Apprite has mentioned 6 different blogs if you want to get started with web or with Flutter or with Apple, Android server or any CLI based system. So ad service as simple as that. Then they have moved what are the services which are provided by AppRite. So this they have listed down all the services such as account, users, teams. Because listing down services which will actually help hackers determine what are the things which is going to be helpful for our project. As simple as that. So this is why this was important too. Moving ahead, what are the SDKs which are available, which are the versions, like this is the web, Flutter, Apple, and these are the servers on which it's working, and also a community mention. And then the next is the architecture of the whole product. They've mentioned it depends upon two. Yep, it's a good thing if you add blog post to a GitHub readmes, because if I go to a GitHub readme, I always read blogs because I need to know how people write. They've also mentioned an architecture of how things actually work. Then they have mentioned Hey folks, can you see me? I'm so sorry. I guess it was a lag from my side. Can you see me, folks? Now, are the things good, or there are still issues with the net? I'm so sorry. That was my bad. If you can see me, just let me know. Again, apologies from my end. Yep, everything looks good now. I hope the internet do not disturb the stream again. Just a second. I'll just share my screen once again. Thank you, folks, for staying by. I was thinking that okay. I'm just gonna add this to stream. Yep. So getting back to where we were, moving to a place of contributing, another important aspect of a repository. When we work on an open source project, it's very important so that we give space to other folks to contribute to it, because our project can always be enhanced better and better if we give a clear contribution chance to all the folks who are available. And this is what Upright has done too. They have created a very simple statement that all the code contributors, including those people who have commit access, must actually go through all the reviews and code of conduct which they have. And we they truly love the pull request, right? So if there is something you want to suggest Upright that you can make this better in your project, you're good to go. You just need to click on the contribution guide and you will be able to contribute better in their projects. Moving ahead, they have just given a security check. If like if you have any security issues, you can just mail here and instead, yep, and then you can follow them. And they've also mentioned a very important thing, license. That is, the repository is under this license. This is important because it helps uh, the or maintainers of that particular repository to clearly state that okay, we are under this license policy, and if you want to know more about it, you can just go click on that and work. I just want to check once again if the things are clear with internet. I can see a bit lag on my side, but just want to clear with you folks if things are going good. Anyone in the chat can let me know from all the folks who are watching. Okay, thanks East Reflection. Thanks for letting me know. So I guess it's time we move back to our project. Just a second. Hmm. Okay, let me share this tab instead. Okay, we are now back. Okay, so we have worked on the upright. You can say how they have made the project readme and the profile readme, but it's time for us to work on some tricks. But there is a special thing in this trick section. We are going to actually work on a project, so to all discuss all the things which we have worked on how title can be written. Then we have worked how description can be written. You can clearly see in the upright uh, read me that it was clear and concise. You have mentioned the type. They have mentioned the type of license. They've used links wherever possible. It can be the links of blogs, or can be link of the servers, or can be link to getting started with. And they've also made a comparative study with other similar project if it's required. Table of contents, that was at the start, which I mentioned that if you have ever visited a Wikipedia page, it's why it's so much important. Then installation and basic usage, it was clearly visible. Either you can include screenshots or basic, or you can add the code snippets. Now this is important because adding code snippets, because it, like you can see the run commands, like you need to run either copy from here and just paste in your CMD, right? So that you will be able to install their product easily. They've given certain credits. If I can show you that once again, just give me a second. Okay, you can clearly see all the contributors are listed here at the top, right? All the folks who have contributed in one or the another way to this GitHub repository, a super good GitHub repository. So yep, and moving back, like references, codes and tutorials. How, and thank you to the people who might be using this. Contribution guidelines, support links, roadmaps, and badges. That was clearly visible even in the upright one, and the things we have discussed. But now it's the time to get our hands dirty. Before I actually start with, I also want to know, like, uh, do you folks know how to fork a repository? Just let me know in the chat. If you don't know, I'll be happy to like share that. Ultimately, I can just share that too in any way. So we are going to actually work on a challenge which I'm going to give you folks. I just need to get back with which folks can actually come up with an accurate GitHub README. This is for a project. This is, if I can understand that this is a simple Python project which we are going to work on, and you folks need to make a GitHub repository after forking it. So yep. So I guess my screen visible. So we can clearly see it's a code refinery documentation example project. What you need to do is you just need to click on fork, right? You need to be the owner of the project so that, okay, I guess my screen share this tab instead. Okay. When you click on fork, you can clearly see you are the owner of the project. You can click on the repository name, or you can also edit it. It's upon you, and you need to fork it. So when you actually fork it, you need to write a README file for this project. If I actually tell about what here you can clearly see, help people interest in repository understand your by adding a README. So what you need to do here is you need to go through the project. I will give you a simple explanation of this project, what it usually do. So what it will help you with, it will take an Excel sheet which is already in the system. I'm telling you about the project for which you need to write this. Yes, I'm going to share the link. Just give me a minute. I'll just explain the project once. What you need to do here is this project, what it does is it will take data from an Excel sheet, that is the data about the temperatures, and what it will do is it will actually analyze the data and it will give inputs to the other user who have actually made the project. So if I just share the link of this particular project, I hope the instructions are very clear. I guess I have shared the link in the chat. You can find, if you need any more help with it, just let me know. This is the link for the project. You need to fork it from here, and you need to add a README for this project. As simple as that. And you never know, the folks who might be working super good on this might be getting, I don't know, something good, but let's see. I just want you, all of you who have attended this, you can say 35 minutes of good lecture. You can say, let's try to put work on our hands. I'll be helping you folks if you need help, like how we can GitHub, like write GitHub readmes is as simple as, while we work on our, if I can give a better example of working on an HTML project, a simple code is that. So I'll just give you an example. Just give me a second how we can write it better. So if I'll start with, just give me a second. So for example, this project is all about hashtag temperature uh, analysis via spreadsheets. I guess this is the way it starts. And because I have read about this project, I can just tell you more about it. It's a Python script, Python script uh, for the analysis of temperature in Excel files. And the best part about which I think about README is you can clearly see and preview just next to that. So you can clearly see temperature analysis via spreadsheets, a Python script for analysis of temperature in Excel sheets. So this is as simple as you can write a GitHub README. So I guess I've already shared the file. You can just go through this project once again. I have given you a simple collab, like a system how you can actually, how this project actually works. It's going to take data from the Excel sheets and work with the temperatures from the data it has accessed. You can go through this entire repository. You can work, just poke it from here. This is the challenge. Just work on this GitHub README. If you need any help, just let me know in the chat. I'll be happy to help you with that. By the time I'm just going to take, I guess, a minute break, I'll just get my water and I'll be back. So I guess the challenge has already started. You folks already know what to do. I'm going to share my screen. Just a second. I'll share this tab instead because I'm also going to write a readme soon. But I'll be back. So till the time, you can just enjoy this music, and I'll be just back in a minute. Hey folks, I am back. I hope you have already started working on this project. If you need any issues, like if you need any, not any issues, if you need any help from my side, just let me know. If you want to know about certain simple codes, how you can write it, so till the time I guess all the folks who are working on it, I'll be showing you a simple code how you can actually write better GitHub readmes. Just to give me an example. I hope everyone has got the link who is working on this challenge, uh, like what they have made, what they have not made. Just a second. Like if you're working on this particular challenge, I'll be taking your entries through a Google form or something, so that we can see folks who have made this project. But let me share this tab. I'm going to click on the repositories, and I'm going to work on my. So this is just to give a clear example of how code can be easily written in. So this is how you write a simple text file. I hope the screen is clearly visible. If I can make the screen better. No, this was a very bad option. I hope this could be good. Uh, so if you talk about here, if you want to write a easy GitHub README, you can clearly see. If you want to, for example, add a link, so just write it in this way, right? So you need to just uh, copy it from, like, if you want to give a heading to your blog, so you can say starting your journey from learning Azure JS. Just block it in the blog, and in the next one using the uh, you can say like this, you can actually return. I can just share, or I can just mention if that can be. Samyak, if you have already completed the repository, I'm going to check it. I'm just going to currently work on all the folks who are working on the challenge which we are working. Anytime you can visit the AppWrite GitHub README to check how you can actually customize it better. Like if I tell you, you can clearly see this looks awesome, right? So when you open it on the first end, you can clearly see a good representation of what you have done till now, right? So you can also go to AppWrite GitHub README and check on the things like how this code is written. So if I click here, you can clearly see the how this code was easily. It's a very easy code to understand. You can see how you can mention, as mentioned earlier. If you know how to write an HTML simple CSS code, you will get to know how things can work. You can clearly see an AppWrite link. If you want to mention a link, you can clearly see use the a tag with an href, and you can mention accordingly. Then also if you want to mention blogs and all the other things. So if you want to make it more look good, you can like took up the idea from AppWrite, or you can took up the idea for all the folks who have shared their respective links in the chat, and can work on the project. So if I work, like, get back on the challenge which we are working. So for all the folks, if you have joined new by any chance, the project which we are currently working on is a very simple Python project which actually takes up data from the Excel sheets, and it gives you might be a proper results around it. So this is how you're gonna work. So you need to fork this project. You can just click here and you can fork this project. What you need to do here is, after forking that, you need to create a readme file. It can be readme.md, and you need to write content for that readme file. And we are going to check for all the folks who have written it till now. Or I've also given an example how you can start your GitHub readme. It can always start with a title. I guess if I get back to this, uh, you need to mention these 5 things, folks, in your GitHub readme. We are going to check how things can be. It always starts with a title, then we move ahead. It's the description. Like it should be clear and concise. Try to keep it short. Mention the type of licenses if the project has any. When I talk about licenses or any other links, it can also mention that if that particular project has used any license, make sure to also put up links wherever possible. So if I'll give you a short hint here, this project might work on a certain version of Python. So when you go through the project, you can clearly find on what version of Python, or does it even work with the latest version of Python or not. You need to mention that in your readmes. Why it is important? A lot number of times folks are going to just copy your project and try to run it in their systems. But in that cases, if your project does not work on the latest version of certain technologies, it can be Python or any other IDEs, it can happen that the project won't work on their systems. So to avoid this thing, make sure you keep this thing in your GitHub READMEs. As I've mentioned, try to use links wherever possible, and a comparative study with other similar projects. Why it is important? You can. It's not required for now. I'll try to keep this challenge very simple. Try to make sure that you mention all the things which are in the project. Next thing is table of contents. So table of contents can be how to navigate to different parts of the Python project. I have given a very simple Python project. You can just go and read more about it, and you will be able to know. Then need to link the subsection, so that if I click from the table of contents, I can just directly go to that particular place. You can clearly see in the table of contents of app, right? Just give me just let me just share the screen once again. You can clearly see this is the main heading, then Unix, then Windows, and in Windows there is a subsection CMD and PowerShell. So this is how it works, as simple as that. You need to make sure that these things are super clear to the folks who are actually entering in your project. Moving ahead, installation and basic usage. How if someone want to download it in their system or want to run it in their system, should know how installations is going to work, or you need to add some code snippets so that it can run. Moving ahead, you need to work on credits, collaborator, references, code and tutorials. You can mention blogs. You can mention any other sort of collaborator. You can thank you to the original owner of the project, so that folks can know where this project is originally made. And as simple as that, this is how things work. If I talk about certain more things that can be added to your GitHub README, it can be contribution guidelines, it can be support links, it can be roadmap, it can be badges. So I hope things are clear how you need to work. And I'll just share this tab once again. I'm also writing my GitHub README so that it can be clear to you folks. But to just clear it once again, uh, all the folks who are participating in this challenge might be getting something, like it depends who is going to get lucky, but we are going to see all the folks who is working on this challenge. So you never know, might be a swag drop or something, but that is something which should also be only known to the folks who are working in this challenge. So make sure you use the knowledge we have done in the first 40 minutes of the challenge and execute it here. I'm going to uh, like share a Google form link in the next 15 minutes or so. So that will be given to you to submit your projects. Till the time, let me also work on this project. So if I tell you the basic things which should be there in your readmes, that should be, I guess, a descriptive project title, what your project does, motivation, why this project exists. Next should be the installation, how can I can actually, or any other user can install it in the system. Then we have copy paste quick start code. For example, if you can see in the app right one, they have given certain codes, right? So if I click here, you can see here they have given direct codes that you can just copy paste in your CMD and you can just run, as simple as that. The next thing would be, if I say should be mentioned, is usage reference. If you have used any certain type of source in your project, or that can be ever useful for the folks who are attending or seeing the project from somewhere else and don't know about it, make sure you mention it. uh, and you can also mention other tools. For example, whatever we have discussed in the app, right? GitHub readmes, that can be how to get started with the project, as simple as that. And if I give you a separate, like, perfect headlines that can be here, it can be topic of the project, then why should you use the project setup. So what are the things you need to do, right? So you need what are the dependencies, libraries which you should have in this project. So if anyone you might have gone through this project, you can see pandas libraries should be there in your system, so that you can run this project. So make sure you mention that, as simple as that. Also how you should run this project, right? So there is always a code which we run in our command system to run a Python project. So you will also find that in your repository. So if I just share the link, you can go through this analyze spreadsheet.py, and you are going to get all the required answers. From here I can see that he has imported pandas as PD. So make sure you mention that your system should has pandas library, and you should run the command pip install pandas in your system, and things should work. Apart from that, you can clearly see all the important things are given here, and you can get to know more about the project from here, as simple as that. And you can either go to all the certain links which are here, what are the licenses which are used, right? You can get to know more from here. You can mention that in your readme. You can click on docs. You can get to know better from here. And if I also like quick start, if I want to go to like make a quick start, how to run, as simple as that, right? I told you folks, this is a very important step. Hey Taya, welcome to the stream. This is a very important step. How you going to run? You can clearly see it's clearly written Python analyze spreadsheet.py. But a folk, like if any other hacker, like someone who is new to GitHub, is not going to go this down in any repository, right? So you can make sure you should create a README so that it should clearly mention this, how to run this project. And we can clearly see here Python analyze slash spreadsheet.py should be there so that our system can run, as simple as that. So you can just mention and import that in a file too. And moving ahead, you can also make sure you can just go through all through here and you should be able to do better for your project. I guess also I should share my screen and I also start writing about the project. So I'll just write why should I use this project. That can be the motivation for you, right? For working on a project. I just want to get a quick check on all the folks who are working on this challenge. Either you can drop an emoji or any other thing in the chat so that I can know. I hope things are clear. You folks are not facing any issue. All the folks who are actually working on this challenge. I'm also writing a GitHub readme in this front of you, but I also want to know all the folks who are doing this challenge with me. Okay, it's Nishu is doing this challenge, and all the other folks. If you are working on this particular challenge, just let me know. Okay, Chintan is also working. Lancer is also working. Okay, 5 times yes and 2 3. Okay, he's also working on this project. I can see folks working on it. So you need to work on this. I'm also working on the GitHub README. I have also mentioned all the things that should be mentioned in the GitHub README. If you face any issue, if you want to know how to run this particular project, you can just let me know. I'll help you to uh, help that statements. So I guess I can see 4 folks still now working on this project. Just to give you a small hint once again, someone from you folks who are working on this challenge might be getting something from our side, but that's again a very special secret that I want to keep it to myself till the time we reach to the end of the stream. So I'll let me also write. Uh, I guess my screen is already sharing. So this project, it helps me analyze uh, temperatures mentioned in the spreadsheets, right? This is the motivation which we worked around, right? These are the things. The next thing which my readme should have, it should be a setup, like how this is going to work. So, and another thing that you can clearly see if I tell about uh, setup. So I just need to make sure what are the things that should be there, right? So I I can see that if you have gone through the project, you can clearly see you'll need Python 3.5 version to run it in your systems. If you have gone through well into the uh, project README. Apart from that, I guess I have mentioned this that this project depends on Panda library, right? So this project depends on Panda library. You can clearly see here. If I'll just share the screen and this, you can clearly see this system works on the Panda library, right? So this is the main thing which will actually help you know all the things which are required in this particular project to be mentioned in your GitHub readmes. As simple as that. And moving ahead, let me just share my tab once again. So I'll just mention that this project depends on Panda library. Okay, just give me a second, folks. This can be actually made to add few things. Like if you use this command, just the button which is just under uh, uh, the escape button, you can see here Panda library. So I can also do it here. You can use a double one too to make it look good. If I go on the preview, see you can clearly see Python 3.5 and the project depends on Panda library. If you want to create a line difference, just write br. Yep, it's good to go. You need Python 3.5 and the project depends on Panda library. And if you want to install it, uh, install it in the system by running pip install pandas. I guess this is correct. Yep, pip install pandas. You can mention it again, once again, like this. And yes, if you can clearly see the preview, you need Python 3.5. This project depends on Panda library. Install it in on your system. You can use the br tag here. And I guess this should be good to go now. Yeah. So this is the basic setup which is done. Now, a very important thing to just mention here, you can clearly see a single hashtag is used for the temperature because this is the main heading and these are the subheadings. If I want to get another subheading, I need to use three hashtags. As simple as that. You can also add images to your system. Now, to the next thing, how to run this on my system, right? Well, like this, how to run, right? I need to make help people that how I'm going to run this on my system so that you can run this script on your system then by adding this to your command line. So if I do that, I just need to write we did. I'm just going to copy this. If I just copy this from the repository, now if I see Python analyze spreadsheet.py. Folks can copy it from here. I have used three columns here for that so that it can be clearly seen that okay, I need to work on this. Like I need to run this command Python analyze underscore spreadsheet.py in my system so that I can run it into my system. As simple as that. I'm just going to copy another thing you can clearly see in your system. You can use the function directly. For example, this is mentioned in the repository. You can find it. I'm just going to copy it here. This, I guess this should be available to all the folks who are working. You can clearly see you can use functions directly. For example, calculate the mean temperature of some data, Python, and then you need to run this code, print mean temperature, and you will be able to get the required results. And if you see that, you can clearly see on the preview. Okay, this is the code which should be mentioned there. These colors are because of, you can see here you can mention with the colors, as simple as that. Because it's under the three code system, it usually differentiates itself. Okay, so moving ahead, another thing which should be mentioned, I guess before that I'm going to just work on the GitHub, like the Google form link. And I guess we can do one more thing. Just a second, folks, let me create a Google form link so that I can accept the submissions. Folks, are you ready with your submissions? All the folks who are working on this amazing idea, are you ready with your submissions? I'm going to share a link. Let me just write your name, then we have your email, and then we have a GitHub readme link. I have created this. Okay, I have created the link GitHub readme submission. I guess I have the file which I have already made till now. You folks can see how you can work on your systems to make it more better. It's almost done for Nishu Chintan. I'm just going to share the link. I'm waiting for you folks. Okay, this is good to go. Send via link. I'll just need the link. Shorten the link. Okay, I'll just copy it from here. Let me check on my system once. I hope it's the correct link. Great. So I have shared the link in the chat for all the folks who are working on this project. You can just see from here so that I can mention. I have already mentioned all the important things which should be here. I have just not mentioned two things which are unavailable here. I want you folks to let it know. I have almost mentioned all the things. I'm just going to see all the folks who are working in this, and we will be having a winner among them. Not the winner, it's just a mini activity which I want to get from you folks working around GitHub READMEs, and then we are going to move forward. I guess we also have another session just after this, so try to save your energy for that too. But yep, you will be getting something from this session. I know. I have shared the link. I'll be just waiting for your folks' responses. I haven't submitted. Okay, do you want me to share which code? Like which I have written till now? Okay, how to run the script? Okay, okay. I'll just share that. Just give me a second. You should be able to find it in the repository too, but I am just sharing it for your help in your system. I have shared it in the chat. You can just keep it in. Otherwise, if you ever face issues, you can just go here, get back to this, go to docs, like analyze spreadsheet.rst. You can see, you can mention this. Also, I guess we worked on setup.md. See, you need to run Python 3.5 to run this project. This project depends on Python pandas library install with pip install pandas. So you need to go through the whole repository so that you will be able to understand how you can write more. I'm just letting all the folks know who are in the stream that how you can do it. I guess we also mentioned quick start. Yeah, this is how you can find the quick run analysis or the code. And if you want to know how this is run, you can just go here and check. As simple as that. So this is how things works, folks. Okay, I'm just waiting for folks to submit there. I have just not mentioned two things in my README which I have made till now, and I just need to check which of you folks actually does it. So I'm just waiting for folks who are here working on this README. Just submit it on. I am still expecting some responses. I haven't received it till now. But yep, you should submit it in next 5 minutes. That will be again additional time. I was about to give you only till, you can say, 3:30. We are already over time, folks. The time frame limit is next 5 minutes. I am going to close the form after that because I need to see what you folks have already built. Like I have given a lot of time, I guess. I have got a response from a folk already. I'll just check. I have already got it from Adpita Santra. Yep. I hope it's yours, Lancer. Adpita Santra. I have received it till now. I'm just going to wait for the next 5 minutes. Folks, whatever you have made during this challenge, you need to submit so that at least you can be eligible for what we are going to go ahead with. Like all the folks who are working on this mini event, till the time I can just open, till the time I can just open what has been submitted by one of our folks. Just give me a second. Okay, I've also got the link from Nisarg. Nisarg has also submitted. Okay, I'm just gonna copy the link, paste it here. Okay, some super good work done by Akpita, I guess, as I can see till now. But I'm not sure. Yep, Nisarg, I received it from you. Okay, I'm super sorry to pronounce your name wrong. It's Adip. Okay, that's tough again. Can you help me know, like, tell how you pronounce your name, like how you break your name? It's simple for Nisarg. Nisarg has also submitted. Okay, I have also received another Sriya Das Mohapatra. I'm going to open the GitHub link for Nisarg too. Just 2 more minutes. Adipto, right? Adipto. I hope I'm not wrong. Adipto Santra. I hope it's correct this time. Adipto. Okay, thank you. I'm so sorry once again for mispronouncing that. I hope things are ready. Adipto has done good work in motivation requirements. Okay, good one. How to clone the project? Installs required. Oh, that's a good one. Usage place the temperature data in Excel should be the following format. That is some good work by Pita. I can Adpito. Ad, Adpito. Then we have Nisark. Okay, creating another heights once again. License about the project setup, features, user friendly data import cleaning. Oh my, super good once again done by Nisark too. I can be very sure on this. I just need to check on Sriya Das Mohapatra. Just give me a second. Uh, I'm not able to see the repository. I just received your link for GitHub link. Uh, okay, you're adding one photo. Okay, you're free to update it. You have still have 2 minutes. I'm just waiting for Chintan to drop his. But I guess the one which is submitted by Sriya Das Mohapatra, you need to submit the GitHub repository link of the README which we have made for the project. I'm just going to wait for 2 more minutes because we also have to analyze of what we have done till now, folks. So I'm waiting for it, and I'm waiting for you only. How to do repository? I didn't understand. Okay, do you want to know how did we fork this and have made a new repository? So I'll just get back to this. Okay, I'll just share this tab instead. Okay, uh, so this is our project, right? This is our project and we are working on this. So if you want to make a fork of this, like if you want to make a readme specifically for this, click here, fork. So what it will do is it will took up all the files which are from here and make a repository itself for you. So I can clearly, just let me see. Yep, my screen visible. I can clearly see that I have already done, like fork already exists for me. I can clearly see, okay, this is for team Arab. I have another organization, right? So I'll click on the repository name and just click fork. So what will happen is it will copy. I have done but don't know how to submit. I have shared a Google form link. I am sharing it once again. Just give me a second. I have received it from Chintan too. uh, I'll just get the shareable link once again. Copy. Okay, I have shared the link once again. You can submit till here. You have the last 1 minute to submit. Okay, I'm just gonna open it for Chintan too. Chintan has submitted, but once again, who has submitted from the name of Sriya Das Mohapatra? I can see your GitHub, but not the one we asked for. Like I asked for. Okay, Chintan, Python, Pandas, Excel. Okay, almost all the things which are mentioned clearly. So I should start sharing the screen. I'm just going to wait, but I'm going to start with Adipato. Um, Adipto. I'm going to start with Adipto. This is the one which is made by Adipto. To start with, It's a temperature data logger, a simple introduction. This is the motivation. Good. I guess it's a good way to start with because people want to see certain content on your GitHub READMEs. You have mentioned the requirements that this project requires Python 3.5 to be installed on your machine. It depends upon Panda library as well. Okay, you can clone the repository using the following command, then install the required Python packages using the following command. Okay, good. You have also mentioned the usage and how you're going to run it. This is super good. Good mention. How you can contribute to it. I love this version. Poke the repository, create the branch. Super good done, Aditya. I guess all the things which are clearly mentioned, which I've also mentioned throughout the stream. So this is some super good work. I guess to move ahead, we have next with us. Okay, I'm so sorry. The next with us it's Nisark. Okay, Nisark has started with. Okay, just a second, folks. Just a second. So sorry, folks. Just back, got back. So okay, you have updated. Just give me a second. Uh, I can't see an image. Okay, I can see an image. Okay, Nisar trying to get 100% good. Another good addition to always start with your uh, GitHub reviews with a project because it always gives a good idea to the user that what your project is all about. He has mentioned the inspiration. This I like this one because we worked on this during the app right one. So good mention, Nisar. Then we have the inspiration, the climate change one. Then you have made a good table of contents about setup features built with how to run contribution guidelines about the project. Clearly mentioned project designed to make an Excel as an input. Good one. Mentioned the setup. Okay, features too. User friendly data import, data cleaning. That's some super good work. Built with Python and Pandas. Super good mention. How to run. This can also come with a copy link so that I know people folks can copy from here, but you can use the triple dash and use the copy one. But good one. Contribution guideline. Again, a good work done. I guess it's done by Adipito once again and also you. So super good work there. Okay, get in touch. Made by this and this by Nisark. I guess a very good repository, Nisark, no doubt. Super good one. I guess almost you and Pito has done super good work. We are going to move to Chintan now, who has submitted. I'm going to check. Okay, I am just going to close the submissions now. You can still submit, but okay. Next we have from Chintan. Chintan has mentioned an about good. Then we have mentioned that you need to have a project version. Okay, I guess my screen is not share this tab instead. Python version mentioned correct. Panda libraries mentioned correct. Pip install pandas. You should have mentioned that if you do not have you like if you do not have pandas on your system, you should panda library on your system. You should have this so that folks can know tools and technologies Python and Excel. You can support it from here. Good mentioned. Credits you're the editor. License you have mentioned super good and you can contact. To be very honest, on the first go, it's a super good work by Chintan too. So, heads up, Chintan, good work done once again. Okay, you have updated it. Okay, you have updated it with. Okay. Oh, I guess that's your image. I can clearly see if I can click from here. It's a good one too. I'll still say pick of the owner. Oh, that's a very good mention. When we talk about credits, it can also mention in the name with the credits. I guess you can do this. Moving ahead. Okay, we have a tons of responses now. I will just check. Okay, coming up next, we have it from Heingo. I hope the name is correct. I guess you have mentioned a different of what we have asked for, but we still are gonna work on this. You can say my holiday it stationery generator, technology used, screenshots planner, how to run it in a system. A super good readme to start with, super good mentions. I can clearly see. Then next we have from I hope Injamul Hassan. If I'm not, I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name. Okay, you haven't worked it to the fullest, I guess. I can see this when I open your link. Injamul Hassan, Injamul Hassan. Let me check it once again. That whether I'm not having any problem or not. I guess this is the this link only. Okay. We also have another submission that is from Lipika Mohanty. It is for the challenge was for the challenge we created. Uh, I know it's a profile that is super effective and super good. All the things are mentioned. I guess she has submitted it so we can show before we move on to our challenge winner. Just give me a second, folks. Hmm. Okay, I can't find it, the link for her. The name is. Hmm. Share this tab instead. Okay, I can add this to the stream. It is the profile of Lipika. She had shared that. Yep, it's the profile readme, but we have worked around project readme. But I guess super good work by all the folks who have submitted. I received 8 responses on overall basis. So, but it's the thing which I want to mention from the starting. For all the folks who have worked on this challenge, one of you will be actually getting you can say a swag pack from Major League Hacking. So, like how it's very difficult for me to judge like choose one. There is a very super good competition between. Okay, I've also received another. We can just go through this before we click on the winner. I guess this is a different project readme, but you should know. Yep, someone from the folks who have submitted the challenge will be getting a swag pack. I kept it as a secret though. But yep, one of you folks will be getting a swag pack from us. Whosoever will be getting it. Okay. Okay, this is the submission by Shriya. I hope SRIY. This is a different project, but yep, again a project. Readme, structure mentioned, installation, all the dependencies are there. Good work though. All the things are mentioned. Contributing licensing is good. Usage is there. How to start it. Code snippets are there. That's a super good work too. But yeah, a good work once again. So I just stop sharing. Uh, okay, let me run a very wheel wheel generator between two folks to check. Just give me a second. We have Missile, then we had. Hmm, uh, how do you like? You folks have seen all the GitHub readmes. Whom do you think was the best related to the mini event we worked on? What do you folks think that whose project was like? Okay, this man has done some super good work on this one. You can just let me know. Hey Lipika, welcome. I also saw your profile that is super good. That is the GitHub one. But our current role is to actually see who has done super good work. Yep, I am going to agree to Chintan. All have done super good work. If I tell like all the things they already know and I have mentioned in the stream have already been there. So I'm thinking how this is gonna work. I'm just thinking how we can do this. Okay. Uh, hmm. I know it's all. I super good know it's all, but I just haven't like think of getting this to one of you folks for this. It's very difficult to give to all. I know. I'll super be happy that all the folks will be there. But for this time, as per I can see, of all the submissions, I guess it's between two folks. folks majorly. That is between okay, I'm not going to take the name, but it's I guess Chintan has done some super good work. When I talk about the first time, I guess he has done it for the first time, and all the things are mentioned. Nisark has been super good with the readme and also Akpito. So I'm just thinking how it is gonna work, but okay. Let's do a drum roll, and I'm just going to think who is going to win. Whether out of all the folks who have submitted. So let I want to know from you folks, who do you think should be? Like, oh, it was first time for you too. So I guess I was not able to like pronounce it better. But do we have Arpita and Nisar both on the stream? Okay, do you want me to do a wheel run for all of you folks, or do you want it to give to the best person who has done super good work around the? Oh, you have done for the first time, right? Your like your GitHub README file, right? Of what you have submitted. It was super good. I was able to see it, Lipika. Uh, hmm, I just need to think how this is gonna work. But like I'll be very honest, it was very tough. But I guess Nisark will be our winner for Shark Pack. I just need to check on the name. Uh, NIS ISARG Thakur. I hope the name is correct. Okay, Thakkar. Okay, I'm so sorry, Nisar Thakkar. Okay, Nisar, if you're on the stream, congratulations on winning this amazing challenge at GitHub README. It was a super tough competition between you and someone again who has submitted and is in the chat too. But you were too good, and make sure you just take a screenshot from here, generate a ticket at Major League Hacking Discord server. Someone from the team will take it from here. Just mention that you have uh, took part in GitHub README challenge, and yeah, you will be good to go. Make sure you just take a screenshot from here, and things will be good to go. Once again, congratulations. Your README was super good. Mentioned all the things. I guess all the folks mentioned all the things, but you presented it better. But yep, folks, a big congratulations to Nisag once again. But for today, I'm going to take a leave. Thank you. Thank you so much. I guess a lot of folks joined and a lot of folks have submitted their challenges on this link which I've provided. Uh, all the best. And I like work on your GitHub readmes. You can contact me on Twitter. I'll be happy to help you any day. But congratulations to Nisarg and all the folks who have learned something new today and made something very good. I'll also ask Nisarg if you can just share this on Discord to all the folks who have made. You should share this on Discord so that Mary should also see it, and also share it on Twitter. Tag Major League Hacking Me. You can use the hashtag Global Hack Week GSW, or just write hashtag Global Hack Week and we can find you. But once again, thank you so much for hopping into the stream. Till the time, I'm going to see you in the next stream. Bye bye, folks.